So I'd be sent around, and they always sent me to Miss Alexander. She was just the nicest lady. So that's who you are. Kids don't know you whether you teach them or not. That's when you know.
Oh
They-
yeah, I've met some artists that sketch like my kids. I've met some kids who give me their first, middle, and last name. Shake my hand and say good morning. I am Michael J. Jackson Smith. Like,
Come on, Mr. Jackson Smith.
good morning, Mr. Jackson Smith. Okay, yeah, they because it's not that many Black kids in the school too, so they all navigate towards me because I'm a smiley Black face and not a Black face. You know how it can be. So yeah.
Damali, you remind me of, I volunteered at the elementary school. So with the 3 kids, I was there for, I don't know how many years, but I created a whole program where I went to the banks and got, checking account for, stubs and all that with no numbers on them. And I taught them business, and they would get points in the classroom for different things. And then once a month they got to go, or every 2 weeks, I guess every 2 weeks, they got to go to the store. And I made a store in one empty room, and the parents donated things. And so there were larger price items and then small things like candy and different things like that. But they could save up to buy the bigger thing, or they could spend it on the candy and things. So, and then we would go over how much they had, and, they would actually write a check for it. And so it was fun. And so I got known as that mom, if the kids would see me in the hall, I would help them with different things. And so it was really beneficial for them to learn money management, and then maybe not to bug their parents so much at home, to get this and to get that, because we talk about it, how, well, your mom and dad, they bring in so much money, and they have to save here. And so, you can't always get what you want at the stores when you go there. So I was always teaching them lessons, and it was a lot of fun. And I can see, Damali, just the joy in your face. And I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. Somebody wants to say hi real quick so you can go.
Hi, ATS community.
Oh, what's happening? Yeah, that's what I'm talking
Hey,
about.
Nothing much.
That was
How
a
y'all
deep
doing?
voice. Pretty good. Pretty good. How about yourself?
Good.
Yeah, that sounds like a future
Bye.
millionaire
Love
right
y'all
there. Yeah, y'all heard that? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Sound like he eat every day.
Man, hold on, wait a minute. Check this out. Look, this boy is 10 years old. Like, stand up straight.
Oh yeah, you about to pass your mama real quick.
And I'm
Real
5'8".
quick.
This
Real
is
quick.
10 years old.
Oh my Lord. Oh yeah.
Real quick.
All right, y'all. Enough about me. Let's get to it.
No, you did good. You did good.
Oh, it's good to hear. It was
Yes.
good to hear.
Well, y'all blamed Damali because I was like, no, let me just finish this. And I said no, because I was listening to Steve Harvey this morning, all sorts of stuff. And the meditation. We talking about why the law of attraction isn't working for you. Man, that's
Watch
what we
it,
gonna
sir.
do today.
Today is Tuesday. Wait
That's
a
what we're
minute.
gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. Why the law of attraction isn't working for you. Let me first, we need two of our community members are going to need prayer. We'll need some prayer for Mr. Law Lowholt. I got you, Janice. Mr. Law Lowholt and John Calloway. Okay. Both of them, reach out to them privately. Okay, reach out to them privately. And remember, there's a ministry and presence. Okay, I'm gonna let the law speak in a second, but go ahead, Janice. Let me hear from you.
Oh, good morning, everybody. And like I say, I'm sorry for missing class yesterday. But that's the same thing I was getting ready to ask. My son was in surgery yesterday.
Okay.
Trey, he's an engineer, construction engineer. By calling, he's a pastor. And he did something to his hip last year. And believe it or not, at 44 years old, he had to have a complete left hip replacement yesterday.
Yeah,
so just, if you would just send up a little, Janice, I'm sorry.
You know, you know what? I will. That's 3 of us now. So I need to,
Yeah.
yeah. Law, did you want to say something real quick? Yes, and then I'm actually pray. Instead of saying we gonna pray, we're gonna actually do it, Grace. You know how it go. Yeah. There
Help
we
with
go.
the master,
Yeah, I
please.
appreciate the prayers. No, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for checking up on me. So my second father with Boricua, my Spanish family, he passed away yesterday. So it was a little tough. Got in about like 1 this morning, but like the body was still in the house and the whole nine. So it was a lot to deal with. But my best friend's family, we've been friends since we was kids. Yeah. So but we're doing okay. We're just making arrangements.
Okay, good. Well, yeah. Making arrangements, but somebody got to pay for them. Unless he had insurance. That's how it
Yeah,
works.
very true. Yeah. Yeah, no,
That
we're
works.
okay on that aspect. So
Yeah, they don't
just
let you
taking
die
that
for free.
1 minute. No, they don't. That's the crazy part.
You can't even be born for free. That's a $3,000 bill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damali pushed out $15,000. Basically, what she did. Basically, I know it was 5 kids, 4 kids, whatever it is. Count the money. That's what she pushed out. God, we come to you right now on behalf of our community members, all these religions, all these faiths, all these people in one place right now, collectively expecting good things. We expect Janice's son to not be a victim of his hip replacement, but to have new life with his hip. People like Jerome and Grace and folk like Sandra and Adrian would know it's good to have a hip loose when you're wrestling with God. So God, we know that you can do all things, and we know that we are all things. So in this case, collectively and individually, we decide to be the breakthrough. We decide that we will be that thing, that light that walks into schools, special education, wake up tired, go to sleep tired, but love being a light. We decide that we will hold our son, be a crutch, and hold our second father and lift the family. We decide that we are our financial breakthrough and we are all things that we can do. Lastly, as we all gather, we also decide that everything is working for us. We release, drop, relinquish that tempting spirit that makes us think this always happens to me. And we change that to, man, it's a good opportunity for what I'm going to do next. And everybody's different faith. Amen. Need you to go.
Amen.
Amen.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, very, very, yes. Okay, good. Okay, just got a private message about that one thing. Why the law of attraction is working for you? I was going to do artificial intelligence, which we'll do probably tomorrow. You're very welcome, Janice. And I was thinking this morning, I was thinking about Grace. And I was thinking about Deanna. And besides the fact that they're both losers, no, I'm just joking. I couldn't resist myself. It was too easy.
It's gonna take another 10 years.
Yeah. It was too easy. It's too easy. You know, they're in transitional periods, these periods of good moments. But the crazy thing is, Shelly, good moments don't look like good moments when you're in them.
Watch it.
Adrian, this is the spirit we in. We just gonna keep on going. And then when you're in a good moment, it don't look that way, it don't feel that way. It feels like transitions. Now, I need y'all to hear me and hear me well. Transitions are both explosive and violent. But you can't move from first gear to second to fifth without a transmission. That's all right. just walk with me. I'll make it make sense. When you get in your automatic car, you don't notice that your engine has exploded and violently moved to a higher level because some engineer has taken it upon themselves to design your combustible engine to give you ease as the experiencer. Put a pin in that, we're coming back to it. So when you think about what a transition is, one cannot transition without explosions or violence. Do you remember, Grace, when you were coming up in age, and them teeth start cutting them gums? And I'm not talking about them baby teeth. You don't remember that. I bet you remember them wisdom teeth coming in now. Laid you down for a whole day, didn't it?
Whole day.
Thought you was gonna die. Them teeth, when you 16, 17 years old, start cutting in, they give you an earache. Anybody know what I'm talking about? As a baby, you cry for no reason because your bones grow. And even when your bones grow, that's a painful process. Some of y'all want to be skinny, but you want to wake up skinny. But you can't wake up skinny. Even if you go get surgery, that's a painful process. In order to go to the next level, there will be explosions. There will be violence. Can I keep going, Janice? I'm gonna make this make a little more sense. Back to your combustible engine. When I said engineer, I really meant God. I was just letting you make it. Do you remember when I said the engineer designed your experience for an ease in transition? When I said combustible engine being violent, I really meant your situation. I didn't really mean an engine, so I told you put a pin in it. I meant that when you're in it, and if you're actually growing, something done exploded around you because it don't need to be there no more. Or something that exploded around you because you need to propel forward. Did you know scientifically, Shelley, that a turn is to simply accelerate in a new direction? Somebody's missing it. That's okay. I can repeat. I came here to work. A turn, when you turn the road, when you turn directions, when thou repent, is what they say in Grace Church. It is to accelerate in a new direction. I dare you look it up. To turn is not to go in a new direction, but to accelerate in a new direction. And sometimes you need explosive power to accelerate in a new direction. So it may seem like, oh, I'm giving up on my entrepreneurship. When you find out, man, I like dealing with these kids. That's explosive power. Changing your vibration so whatever you do next gonna work. It's so much easier to get your breakthrough when you happy. And it's so easy to not be happy. You ever been hurt, Shelley? I need some real folk right here. Now, don't mind me, but it ain't getting no better, Adrian. I want some folk that just ask themselves, have you ever got to the point in life in which you said, something has got to get better? Now, I'm not talking to all you saints, you holy rollers. As far as I'm concerned, it's just me and Janice in the room, and Damali. Adrian, I know she gonna keep it real at all times, but I know what it's like to believe in something and it don't come through. Many of you know that my father's in prison.
My God.
My father's in prison, been there for 22 years now. And you can ask Deanna, she was on the phone. And about 4 months ago, one of his colleagues was depressed. He didn't make parole. Now, the end of the story is He made parole. But see, Jerome, you missed it. I'll do it again. They denied him only to approve him the next month. He's out of prison now. And my dad told him, well, try to keep the faith. And this guy said, Mr. Anthony, that's what they call my daddy. I hear you. And I'm a Christian, but I'm hurt. I put my faith in God, and I'm hurt. And my dad told him, well, you didn't put your faith in God if you're hurt. Now, just so we know I'm telling the truth, Deanna, do you remember what I told him? It was real. I let all that finish. Do you remember?
I don't remember, but I know it was something powerful. I don't
Okay.
remember exactly what it was. You know, sometimes you got to give me keywords.
I got you. I told him, I said, Dad, I hear what you told him, but I want to challenge that, because if you're not upset when you believe in God, you're not using faith. And I told him, that's the problem with Christianity. You all think to believe in something is to relieve you of the burden of being disappointed.
Man, it's like that scripture. I believe, Lord, to help my belief. I believe to help my belief. I remember
Help
that
me.
scripture because I use it all the time.
All
I
the
believe
time.
to help my belief.
Help my belief. I told him that you're not using faith if, when you don't get it, you're not disappointed. What you've done is you've used a comfortable faith. I said, Dad, Christianity ain't meant to be comfortable. And he sat on that for 2 or 3 weeks. And he actually brought it up to 2 or 3 weeks ago. And he said, son, you said something to me. I didn't forgot the whole doggone conversation, Jerome. You said something to me a while ago, and I must admit I rejected it. And I sat here and I listened. And I had to think about it. He said, it took me 2 or 3 weeks to come around to it. But you're right. You're right, because we're not using faith if we don't put ourselves out in troubled water.
Watch it, Dad.
Wow.
So I need you to get, if your faith keeps you on solid ground, you ain't got no faith.
Watch it, sir.
That's not faith. That's not faith. There's a good song out there called Oceans. If your faith
My favorite.
is not leading you to where the water is troubled, to where you can no longer stand, if you're not like Susan and believing this is my year, and genuinely, if it's not there, you'll be disappointed. We're not talking about incorrect motives. We're saying I trust so much in what I wrote down that I've prepared my whole life to receive what I've written. See, if you haven't prepared your life, Grace, for what you want, not only are you not using faith, but you're actually being logical. So I really want to address those of us who look out in that imaginary world. I'm not talking about manifestation world. You know what I'm talking about, Janice, when you in that mood and you just look up, you don't know what you're looking up at, but whatever it is, it ain't for you. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. You look up like this is not working out. I got to get my stuff together. Come on now. Every time you ever looked up and said, I got to get my stuff, I bet you can't remember what you was looking at. You was just looking
Yeah.
somewhere.
That's it. That's it.
You
sir.
wouldn't even hear no more. You look up and you go, this ain't it. This ain't it. I want to talk to those people. I want to talk to those people. Tracy said something so cool yesterday that I never taught during the classes. I just listen. I listen. I'm not trying to be humble. I'm just always gathering data about y'all. And Tracy was like, her innuendos and her insinuations were, I speak all the time. Well, how much you charge? Oh, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. No, wait a doggone minute. I know I charge something. And I know you're gonna pay me. But I don't know how to put a price on my worth. Anybody else got that problem? To where you feel like if you charge your full value, somehow you're being deceitful and untrustworthy.
I'm there with you.
Come on now. But Tracy was running into a problem of if I charge my value, I'm somehow losing my faith. And I knew it. I had no correction for him. I just understood that I've been there before. I got it. I completely get it. And then I told Tracy that we got to get to a point where we die. Because what you're praying for, Renee, can't fit in that you. Jerome's Apostle Paul says, die daily. Every chance you get, die. Every breath we take, we should be killing the us that's not in the experience of what we see in our minds. I want to logically give you what it means to be frustrated, disappointed, or depressed. The only way that anything on this planet can bother you, I'm going to simplify life for you. Antonio, what is life for? To do what you want and don't regret it. Learn from it and do it better. I'm sorry, did I make your sacred text make sense real quick? Do what you want. Don't regret it. Learn from it. Do it better. What does it mean to repent? To turn in a new direction. Why are you going to regret something God already forgave you for?
Watch it.
Oh, there I go meddling. To regret is a vibration, and that vibration will stop your breakthrough. It's stopping what you are praying for. You are genuinely holding yourself in a past that has been purged with hyssop. There you go, Jerome. I did that for you. Don't do that. That's what life is for. Now, to simplify how we mess this life up, it's when the picture in our head don't match the picture in reality.
Yep.
That's when we get upset. Can I push that further, Jerome? When we get upset, when what I got up here, when Melissa says that ain't how I'm supposed to be treated, and then she'd look out and go, nope, that ain't how I'm supposed to be treated. This is when Melissa says, nope, stop. I'm not telling you something's wrong with that. I'm just telling you that the way we get frustrated is when the picture in our head don't match the picture in reality. But I need to tell you something, Janice. There is never going to be a moment in your life in which the picture in your head matches the picture in reality. It will not happen. Life does not work that way. And if you live that way, you would never, ever, ever get what you desire. If your emotions are determined by reality and what you see, then you're always going to be in an inappropriate vibration. If you continuously live in reality, if you continuously create after you see, you will always create what's less than you. Rewind, press play. If you see something and then feel that way about something, that feeling becomes a creation, and that creation will always be 100 levels lower than you. Antonio, that's crazy. The just shall live by faith. Come on now. I see you ain't like that. Blessed are those that believed and
Without
have
seeing.
not seen.
Watch it. Was you?
So
I
don't think I'm out here saying crazy stuff.
No, because Abraham Hicks said the same thing this morning.
Huh. Interesting. I think God trying to tell you something over there, Grace. Because to look out and to react to what you see is not to be God. Can you imagine? Those of you who believe in God. Can you imagine, Renee, you and your husband are believers, y'all are preachers. Can you imagine praying to God? And God go, girl, I don't know what we gonna do. Because that's exactly how we act.
It's facts.
That's how they be praying too, bro. They be praying like, geez, what is going on? Oh, and this, I was thinking, gee, what are they doing? This is prayer in front of people.
In
Oh
front
my
of people. In
Oh
front
my
of people. In
So
front of
discouraging.
people. Yeah. Angel go, God, fix my body. I don't know how to do it. The doctors say. What the doctors say, Adrian? No, that's not how it works. You don't look at something and then expect to get your worth. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but every person here knows I'm telling the truth, and I'll prove it. If you look at your backyard, it more than likely does not have fruit unless you're Susan. It does have fruit and veggies. Think about this. When you look at your backyard, when you look at that ground, if you react to the barrenness of that ground, Tracy, you ain't gonna never plant no seeds. Do you understand how dumb it is to plant seeds? To plant seeds is to say, I see this barren ground. I am going to put my trust in these seeds. Watch this next part, Tracy. Let this seed go from my control.
Watch it.
And trust the ground to bless me. Second time, everybody gonna get it, Tracy.
Watch yourself.
Here's this dirt. Here's this seed. I'm gonna let this seed go and let the ground bless me. Third time, I'm gonna take out, this time I'm gonna take out the R, I'm gonna take out the U, and I'm gonna take out the N. I'm gonna put this seed in the God. Did you see it, Grace?
Yes, I knew where you were going. Turn it.
And
brother.
let this God bless me. Ground been here for 13.5 billion years, and you think you smarter than it. Don't make no sense.
Prophet Jay said, watch your voice, okay?
Don't make no sense, Grace. Not in the history of mankind, Renee, has a seed ever took root in your hand. Jerome has never held an
Amen.
orange seed and it sprouted. It is only when you let go and let ground. You see what I did, Grace? See what I did? Let go and let ground have its way that you get the harvest. And that makes no sense. I need you to get that is stupid, but we all believe it. We all believe it. We all know it. And we go to Walmart for people who have put seeds in the ground and we benefit. Because if you look at the ground and then say, when you gonna give me some fruit? You'll always get 100 times less than your worth. But if you look at your imagination and then look at that ground and say, I could see watermelon over here, avocados over. Oh, see, y'all not, you're much more powerful in your imagination. Oh, shucks. When you look at your backyard and you see my apple tree gonna be right there. You do it when you go pick out a house. When you got that house that you in right now with your little spouse, you say, oh, baby, our kids gonna play in the back. No, don't fool me now. No, we can't get this house. It's too close to a street. I don't want our kids. You ain't even got no kids, and you worried about imaginary kids getting hit. Because in your imagination, you can see this blessing is for somebody else. It ain't for me. Jerome,
Watch yourself. Watch yourself.
I'm on it today, Jerome. I need you to get that the law of attraction is not working for you. It's because you're realistic. Because you look at the ground and get mad that God ain't blessed you yet. No, it
Reverend.
works like this, Grace.
Reverend.
You say, God, I'm going to bless this ground. Now you blessed what I've blessed. That sounds familiar, Jerome. Whatever you do,
Watch it
on earth,
Watch it.
that'll be done
in
in
heaven.
heaven.
Watch it. Watch it.
I
It's in the
feel
book.
like
It's in the book.
I feel like the truth has been in front of you this whole time, Tracy. But then we done got smart. We done read these books. We done watched that YouTube video. And then we done forgot the universe made all this simple. We done complexed it up, Grace. It's simple. Drink water, live. Eat food, live. Drink too much water, wash your electrolytes out, pass out. Eat too much food, get fat. It does not work any other way. So how do we get what we want? That's the problem. The problem is wanting. Uh-oh. If you want something, you fear it won't come. So in what you call phonetics, words have denotations, that's the definition of a word, and then connotations, that's the feeling of a word. So if I say the B word to Damali, you can't do that in the Black community, don't do that, you're gonna die. Y'all will be at my funeral next week. It'll be real quick. Won't nobody show up. It'll be real quick. Because the B word has a connotation that you ain't supposed to say. Don't fool me now. I'm trying to use an emotional example so you can understand. So does can't. Oh, you didn't like that. So does need. What do we do, Grace, when we take money from the bank? What's that called? You go to the bank and you fill out a
Withdrawal slip.
interesting. So Grace, let me. I went to public school.
We went to the same school.
Okay. So I think we both got the same information here then. If I go get a withdrawal slip, what happens to the account, Grace?
It is descending.
Descending was a great word. It is negative, isn't it?
Yes.
What was has become depleted. Grace, if I keep making withdrawals, no matter how much I got in there,
Mm-hmm.
what's eventually gonna happen?
You will have nothing in there.
Ooh, some of y'all wake up withdrawed.
Watch yourself.
Can I push it further, Grace?
Oof, go ahead.
When we try to figure stuff out, Damali, you know the first doggone thing we do? We
Withdraw.
withdraw.
I can't stand you, man.
I gotta figure this out. Oh, Grace.
So
In phonetics, words have denotations and connotations. When we go, don't nobody understand, we withdraw. I just had to disappear for a little bit, child. Yeah. What you're saying is, I had to be negative in the negative, and whatever storehouse I had is descending according to Grace. This is why you have never in your life fixed your own problems. How could you? Because the very idea of fixing your problems is to withdraw first. It's all in James, I believe Jerome would call this particular book. Starts talking about getting in assembly with one another. Confess your problems to one another. Because as long as you with one another, everything will be all right. That's not a withdrawal. That's a deposit. So what you're telling me is, when we are a member of the body, we're depositing and tapping into that infinite intelligence that everybody else has.
Can I? Amen,
Come on.
hallelujah?
You got to do it.
Right now. Okay, so listen, y'all. I got laid off July 2020. I've been trying to figure this shit out, right? Excuse me. I've been trying to figure this out.
No, you good. Speak freely.
And, you know, people will be like, you know, you can do this, you can do that. I'm like, all right, I can do this. So when it came, so for me, it was like reverse engineer. Okay, I know what I want in the long term. Let's reverse. Okay, I need to do this, to do this, to do this, to do this, right? All that figuring it out got me nowhere for 2 years, like literally nowhere. So last year, my guy started a nonprofit, and I was like, yeah, I'm trying to find work now. She's like, oh, well, I need facilitators to help me do this workshop for middle school kids, you know, which is helping them discover their virtues, values, et cetera, right? So that was the beginning of me, you know, getting a spark of working with kids, like during the school days. And so I loved it. I enjoyed that. And I only did it for 2 weeks last semester and 2 weeks this semester. And then when those 2 weeks finished, my son's friend's mom, who was an excellent educator, came over and invited us to a birthday party, and we were chatting. And I was like, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just trying to figure it out. She's like, well, while you're figuring it out, have you ever thought about substitution? Since, I mean, you do Bible study, you've done this, you're great with kids. Why don't you just try substituting? You may like that, and it's, you know, it's flexible. And I was like, never would have thought about that. Thank you for that information. And like 3 weeks later, I'm doing it and loving it and getting a teacher certification now.
Getting a teacher certification. Deposits.
So, yeah,
Come on,
I
y'all
couldn't-
clap for these deposits.
I couldn't figure it out. I had to go immerse myself in something and figure it out. Like I couldn't like sit in my house and figure out that I don't really like sitting in my house. I don't really like being away from people. I don't really like working from home. But I'm trying to figure out how to create something where I can work from home and make money and be at home. But really, I really don't like it. I like
That's not your energy. That's not what you were born for.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like I was trying to do something that really wasn't me because I was trying to figure it out.
If you like that, you'd be a boring computer programmer or accountant like me. You'd be a file clerk. Everybody can't sit in front of a computer 20 hours a day,
God
not
bless.
talk to nobody.
Can't
Mm-mm.
keep that
Let me tell-
mind in a cage. You can't keep that
That's
mind
it.
in a
I was
cage.
just, hey, Adrian, I was just about to say it. I was just about to say that. She a Leo.
You know what I'm saying?
There it is. There it is.
Yeah,
She's
man, I gotta
right.
let my main flow.
Gotta let it flow out.
The Leo.
That's it. You got to walk and let them know that royalty that stepped in the building now. Y'all
Watch yourself.
worship me.
Watch
Bow
yourself.
to me. I'm in the building now. And that is how people become celebrities and how people become actresses and how people become philanthropists. They want their presence to have a physical and tangible impact. You can't do that on a computer. Some people can, but you ain't born for it. That's not what you're born for. You got to leave that to Bill Gates. That's not what you for. Leave that to Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg can't command a room the way you can. Mark Zuckerberg don't look good in the dress the way you can. We all aren't born for the same things. Mark Zuckerberg wear blue jeans and the same t-shirt every day. He probably got 100 of the same t-shirts. Damali can't do that every day. You get it? We are different members for different reasons, and it is so important for you to understand, Deanna. You have withdrawn, not you personally, and you can't figure out you. Tony, how do we know if we're getting it wrong? And my famous words that everybody hate every time I say it, you know.
Check your harvest.
Check your harvest. It is the only objective thing that we can do on this planet, Janice. Check your harvest. It's folk mad at you right now. They claim Janice is a fraud. Yet she's blessed. And their life keep going down. And they can't wait until Janice mess up. So they can finally say after 49 years, see, I told you. Do you understand how much you have to hate your life to plant 49 years of a bad harvest just to finally wait for Damali and Sam to disagree? This don't make no sense. I guarantee you, it's folk in Jerome's life right now. I don't know how he's married to her. She deserved better. They've been divorced 2 times already. Jerome's still there.
I told you get out of my driveway. I told you that, boy.
They always got something to say about Jerome and his window and his wife. Don't even have one, Janice. They on some date app right now, swiping left. Here's Jerome cooking pancakes. 47 years in the making. And you know what I'm talking about, Jan, them old men that wear them outfits, like they shorts match their shirt. You know what I'm talking about, with the plaid colors and the 2 pockets right here. You know, the 2 pockets. They got the 2 pockets.
Not the 2 pockets.
The 2 pockets. The 2 pockets. You know what I'm talking about.
Them closed-toe sandals with the buckle.
Oh my God, them closed-toe sandals and them church socks. Yeah, man. Yeah, you know, and that big old hard stomach. You know what I'm talking about, Janice. You know what I'm talking about. So he's talking about, let me get $12 for my medication. You know what I'm talking about. Them guys.
Yeah.
You described a real person, didn't you?
Of course I did, Grace. A few of them. The law of attraction is not working for you because you're looking and then you're saying, this isn't what I want. Our problem is not our power. Our problem is the position of our eyes. It's not power. It's position. We look. We got, if you're a woman, you got no business being broke. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. They're gonna cancel me for this. But men only do things because women exist. Let me make that very clear. We don't take a bath without women. You ever met a boy that ain't hit puberty yet? He smelled like an extra Whopper with extra onions. He smelled like a wet puppy, extra onions, The mom say, "Go inside, take a bath." He spray Polo cologne over it and walk back out. You gotta say, "Wash your hands. You just took the trash out." Fine. Soon as that boy get a girlfriend, watch out, mama. Don't look at me. Come on now. You can't even use the bathroom. He in there. Don't fool me now. Don't come on now. I'm a boy. I know these things.
D don't know
I
about that
live
yet.
these things.
Deanna don't know about that
Well,
yet.
she will.
I'm sitting there cracking up because that is just so true.
That's the truth.
Child that take 20-minute showers and then come back in there and the washcloth be rock hard solid. You be kill
just
everything.
running the shower, standing there.
And then all of a sudden, now you can't get it.
Can't get in
Now
there.
it's hair all over my sink. What, you done shaped up again? Boy, oh my Lord, that is so true.
Hair all over it. Just hair all over the stuff. All over the towel, all over the stuff. You boy, don't use my little, what y'all call them, the things, squeezy, scrunchy. I call them something. I don't know what y'all call. You know what I'm talking about. Don't nobody know the name of that, but you, thank you though. Loofah, whatever one you say. Loofah. I'm too
Say,
much of
don't
a
nobody know
boy
that
to know
name but you.
Yeah, a loofah. Yeah, use that there. Don't use my loofah, because we don't do nothing until women think it's cool. You can be, now there's no such thing as an ugly woman, but I'm gonna use the common vernacular. You can be the ugliest woman with the prettiest man. It's kind of hard to be the ugliest man with the prettiest woman. I'm not saying it don't happen. I'm just saying.
Oh, that's easy. You just gotta have a bank account to match.
Okay, and that's kind of the point, Damali. Think about this. In today's society, I'm not telling you you think this way, Shirley. I'm just saying that a rich man is supposed to get a woman that don't make as much as him. But a rich woman bet not ever. If she makes 6 figures, she better go date 6 figures. Come on, don't fool me now. You know how it is. I'm not telling you you think this way. I'm just telling you that your friends will make fun of you if you's a lawyer marrying a janitor. But if a lawyer, male, marries a janitor, oh, what a good man. Because our eyes are in the wrong position. Our job is not to see those things and react, but to speak those things that are not. Jerome, that's in there too. That's in there too. I like the Quran and I like the Torah so much, and I'm gonna tell you why. I've got degrees in New Testament, but it's the Torah and the Quran, because the Quran won't let you translate it. That's why I don't know if you ever met a Muslim. They pray in Arabic. You gotta do that. And the Torah is before you call people smart. And I really like this about the Torah. Like we got this understanding. Like how they built the pyramids, they wasn't smart. Come on now, you know what I'm talking about. We got these wonders. We got these things when we say there's some sort of line of intelligence that we think we have, and the Torah was done before that ever happened. Yet almost every single thing you pick up today, oh, you know what I just realized? I should live by faith. Yeah, it was already said. See, this is why I like the Torah so much. This is exactly why I like the Torah so much. How long was I said ago? Well, about 8,000 years ago. Really, where? Well, which one you want to go to? Delight yourself in my ways, I give you the desires of your heart. Which one you want? What you meant for evil, God meant for my good. Like, where you want to go? We can do this all day. That's Genesis chapter 50, by the way. Your problem is you've made manifestations about you. Let me help you. When manifestations become about you, you get tired. You got to talk to some real people, Tracy. Your hair looks amazing, by the way. I talk to some real people. I'm going to keep it real with you. When you make, I got to take care of my son because of me, whatever that may be. When you make, I've got to get out my parents' house because of me, whatever that is, you're never going to get out of it. Now, there's a power that can get you out of it. We call that anger and aggression. But then you're going to alienate people along the way. Now you're going to have wealth that's laid up for the righteous because you done become wicked. Anyway, back to the point.
Watch it.
I'm just making these things make sense, Grace.
I have a question. Can I?
Yes.
So is that kind of where I am with, I'm trying to get out of what I'm doing
Right.
because of me?
Right. Absolutely.
And anger is what's the power that's pushing me? And I'm
Of course.
like, how do
And
I,
ambition will disguise this. I mean, anger will disguise itself as ambition. Gotta be slick. Sure will. You'll be so angry you're not hearing, so angry they didn't teach you. My mama didn't teach me about money. Now I got to learn it myself. Come on now, don't fool me now. And I should, come on. I'm angry. I'm not where I should be. Who else? Come on. No. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Grace. It's a few more of you out there saying things like, I'm not where I should be. I'm behind. If I married that man, if I went to school like I was supposed to. And don't act like this ain't true. Because see, Tracy's surrounded by it. So y'all don't have to see it every day like Tracy. Well, Damali's surrounded by it too.
I was
You fool
surrounded by
around to
it.
put yourself in a school environment. You're gonna watch other people becoming assistant principals, going to get them extra certifications. And you gonna say to yourself, I should have did that what they did.
Been there, done that.
It's a tough place to be. Now, I'm not telling you that you're gonna do it. I'm just telling you that when you're in the government like that, other people are achieving, and the worst place to have the matrix is the government. You want to get caught up, go to the government. And school district is the government, don't get it twisted. Back to Tracy's point. When you, Jerome, make manifestations about you, they never work. I'll explain why, but let me tell you the punchline. Because you get tired. And once you get tired, there's only one thing you're doing, Shelley. It's all about I. I'm tired. I'm not going to do this no more. Help me out, Damali. I refuse to be here again. Come on now. Come on. I keep saying I till I get in your driveway. I should be further ahead. I don't know why I can't get what I want. I don't know why I'm with this man. All he is a babysitter. I should make more money. I know a lot of people in relationships, if they made an extra $1,000, they'll leave their current relationships. But daycare sure costs a lot of money. Kids get off at 3, they don't get off till 5. Ain't nothing they can do. I know folk that'll pay $1,500 for that that 2 hours, just to be in their house all by themselves. I ain't the only one to know them folk, huh? We've been there. You know those folk. Manifestation cannot be about you, Tracy, because you didn't create nothing. It's already here. Uh-oh. 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 So you ain't got to manifest. See, this is our problem, Jerome. We think we got to help God. You ain't got to make that breakthrough. It's already there. if you thinking about it, it's already there because you can't have a thought that's not attached to a vibrational equivalent. The vibrational equivalent came before the thought. Uh-oh. I'm gonna keep going, Jerome. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna make it make sense. So what we doing is, oh, I gotta make $1 million. Stop letting people like me tell y'all that. You have to relax into the vibration of a millionaire. Grace, you cannot make $1 million. You can only serve 1 million energies. Let's make it make more sense. Ooh, I want to be cybersecurity. You can't make cybersecurity. It already exists. You need to relax so you can find the resources and travel these paths so you can then accidentally get yourself to the cybersecurity. How many of you know what I'm talking about? That whatever you truly got that changed your life, and all of us got something that truly changed our life. We holding on to it right now. We don't appreciate it no more, but we hold on to it. You didn't get there by no damn plan. Y'all are arrogant. We did not do Tree Press with no damn plan. We made a plan once we got it, but it was heartache and pain and stumbling and rumbling that got you to Tree and Press. It was not a damn plan. You know, I'm in kindergarten, I'm gonna get to Tree and Press. That ain't what happened. You was a lie. You was playing with imaginary teacups. Want to be?
I don't appreciate that. I don't appreciate that. I don't appreciate that.
Plans don't get no breakthrough. Vibration does. And once you're in that vibration, then you make a plan. Write a vision. Make it plain. But if you ain't at the right vibration, you heard what Adrian said earlier, they stay prayed. Some of y'all pray poverty. Oh, God. Help me, Lord. You do this good old lofty prayer and then go, nevertheless, if it's in your will, you done killed the whole prayer. You done killed the whole doggone prayer. You know, the whole prayer was for nothing. What you praying for if it ain't in God's will? Okay, Grace, go ahead. I got you. I saw you log on. What you praying for? It's already in God's will. Jerome, when you woke up this morning, huh?
I almost ended the call. Hold on.
Oh,
Here we go.
Yeah, you might want to flip that over. Oh, don't worry about it. Just tax attorney is important. Deanna uploaded it a little bit. Think about it, Jerome. If you want something, you have to know you can get it. I want you to think about this. The only things we ever really got was the things we said, they're going to have to kill me because I'm going to get this. See, I don't want to keep it real. How many of you got degrees? All right. You either got your degree one or two ways.
Me.
You took it very personal, or you just showed up every day.
Yeah.
Real talk. It was out of personal. They're gonna kill me. They're gonna give me this damn degree. I know that's gonna happen. They're gonna give me this bachelor's. It is what it is. They're gonna give me this associate. I'm gonna die for this. Or I ain't really what I know how to do in life. I ain't had nothing else to do. So I just showed up to class every day. Both of those are how you manifest.
Or my mama was gonna kill me, so I just might as well just go on and do what I need to do.
There you go.
I can't go home.
Can't go home. They let me go back home. They let me go back home. They let me go back home. Y'all, we don't have to manifest that. As soon as when Damali applied for school, Damali also graduated at the same time. And I know that's a weird concept to grasp. But you can't graduate if you don't apply. The application was the seed. The graduation is the harvest. When you plant a seed, Tracy, you automatically schedule a harvest. That's what I love about life. I love to tell people when they mad at themselves, or when occasional time people mad at me, I say, well, the good thing about life is time gonna prove one of us right. It's a fact, Jerome. If I'm wrong, you're gonna find out. That harvest gonna sprout up, Damali. It is what it is. That harvest is gonna sprout up. Ain't nothing I can do about it, Janice. Ain't nothing I can do about it, Deanna. That harvest gonna come on up. Ask yourself, how has time proven your argument? Because if you got the same issues or it's degrading, time has told you you were not right. Go ahead, Tracy.
Okay, so I'm glad you're talking on this. So my question is this. You know how we're talking about faith and going after what we want and doing it and trusting and things like that, right? And I'm like, I trust God, but then I've been asking myself, do I really trust God?
Fair enough.
And so like, I want to step out on faith and not go back to teaching in the fall, but like my eyes don't see what I'm gonna do to pay my rent, what I'm gonna do to pay my to sustain. And like I've done this before, like where whatever career I was in, when I was in management, I stepped out on faith and I left. Didn't have another job, didn't have anything, but I end up having to, you know, take a step back and move in with family for like 3 months in order, you know, before I like everything still worked out. Like I ended up getting the things that I desired, but I had to literally like not live the same life for those months in order to get to that. And I don't want that to happen again, but yet I want to trust God, and I want to, you know, show forth my faith.
Yeah.
And I know, and I can see, like you were talking about, how we can imagine ourselves doing or seeing ourselves doing what we believe. I can see it. I'm like, okay, how am I going to sustain until it gets there? Like you said, it's already manifested, but like, then I'm like, okay, well, do I need to step out? And then when I step out, then God gonna make it all work because I showed that I trust him. And then I'm like, okay, but you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no, you've got about 8 good. I'm so glad you're having this conversation. You have about 8 good things in here. I'll put them all in my memory. Let's start off with the 4th one. As far as you've lived in your life, have things ever not worked out? I want you to pause real quick. And I really want you to think about that. Do you live a life to where things don't work out, or things always seem to work out? Which one in your human experience?
For me, everything seems to usually always works out in, not even in the end, but eventually, like
And
it
if
always
I
works out.
pass this microphone around, every person has to swallow their pride and say the same thing. One of the most emotional things you said in there, you had a strong disdain for it, was, man, I don't want to go back. And then you said it worked out last time. I mean, not the way I wanted, but, and that's another point in there. Our plans don't ever go according to plan. Has anybody ever written down something and it worked the first time? I'm very curious to see if somebody has done that, because I've never seen it in my life. Has it worked the second time? Is there anybody that no? I'll push it further and say it don't even work the way I wrote it down, Jerome. You know why? Because the universe knows the quickest fastest, most harmonious way to get you what you desire. Your limited thinking is not the quickest, fastest, most harmonious way. The universe is lazy, intelligent, and will only work in the quickest, fastest, most harmonious way. And the plan you wrote down was difficult, myopic, which means narrow-minded, and only what you wanted.
Me.
There it is. So of course it always works out. And Tony, but why does it always work out? Because the hero always wins, and everybody here is the hero. We're all on a hero's journey, and the hero always wins. But you know what has to happen to every hero? Every hero must be outnumbered and lose drastically. Now, Deanna just sent me a private message, said Damali wanted to say something, so I'm gonna let Damali say something. But before I do that,
I was just shouting hallelujah. I didn't.
oh, well, I'm still let you say something. You probably got something good to say. Before I do that, I want to
Hallelujah is the highest praise.
Well, you know,
Speak it, girl.
I want y'all to think about this. Here's the deal. Y'all not feeling like this. Everybody just prepare not to like what I'm about to say. Let's just go ahead and prepare that. Just go ahead and just. Here's Prophet Jerry. It ain't gonna be mean at all. I'm not gonna say a single bad thing. Cancel culture won't even cancel me for it. Republicans don't like it. Democrats don't like it. It don't matter. Nobody's gonna have a problem with what I say, but everybody's gonna have a problem with what I say. We've been talking now for about an hour and 13 minutes. And how you have behaved during this hour and 13 minutes is not only how you treat God, but it's how you handle all your breakthroughs, and that's why you don't have them. So if you start getting hungry, that's what you do to your breakthrough. If you start getting cold, that's what you do to your breakthrough. If you start itching, if you start getting sleepy, and any of those things, you have a serious allergic reaction to blessings. How you do anything, that's how you do everything. And you've been listening. And some of y'all done yawn. You know, psychologists call it spare brain space. You just start thinking about other things. You done start all that stuff because you hate you. You don't want to
I am
admit it.
excited. I'm excited because
good.
none of that has happened to me on this day. Okay?
What? None of that happened
None
to
of that.
Grace. I know that's right. Grace, tell her how. Tell her what you normally do.
I normally get sleepy.
Sleepy. Grace, and transition to the cell phone. Excited. Congratulations, Grace. You have ascended. Come on, y'all, clap for Grace.
Yay.
Yes. But you know what I'm talking about. Some of y'all done got hot, cold, your hot flashes start bothering you, or some, you know what it is. You know, y'all ever try to meditate? As soon as you try to meditate, you feel something crawling on you. Ain't nothing there though. Ain't nothing there, but you feel it though. It's crawling all up you because your autosuggestion, your subconscious does not want you to win because you taught it that way. You taught your subconscious to try.
I hate that.
You know what I'm talking about? Some of y'all, every time you meditate, you fall asleep, huh? And I'm not telling you this is a bad thing. I'm telling you.
Wait a minute. Slow down. Say that again. You said we tell ourselves to try. Wait. You said you tell our subconscious to try.
You tell your subconscious to try, not to do. Because what does try mean? Try means let me give my best effort so I can lose. That's what try means. Try means let me give everything I got. And somehow, God, make sure I don't win. I tried.
That's why faith is so important. And to figure that out and to understand that you have to be able to let yourself go. And that's one of the reasons why I'm still here. And that is because one of the main things that you said when I met you was you have to be able to let go
Yeah.
of everything that you think you know. And everything that you know, you got to let that go
Gotta
too,
let that go too.
because that would be the only way that you'll be able to receive.
Yeah, your breakthrough
And that would be
cannot
the only way that
exist.
you will be able to go further.
Your breakthrough cannot exist
it's
in what you
true.
know. It can't. There's no way your breakthrough can exist in what you know. If it existed in what you know, Tracy, you would have it. So if you know something, and if you want something else, you have to stop putting your energy on what you know and put your energy on something else. And if you're saying that, don't make sense. Energy can never be created, can never be destroyed. So if you're trying to fix a problem, Antonio, and you're fixing that problem, you're trying to destroy something that cannot be destroyed. Can I spiritualize that, Jerome? You so focused on fixing something God is using to grow you.
My husband.
Yeah. God is
There you go
using that
again.
husband to
There
grow
you
you.
go again.
And
Antonio, I gotta say something to Tracy.
I'm not going anywhere, Kadron. I'm gonna go after you though. Go ahead.
I gotta say something to Tracy.
Go ahead.
Because Tracy said something
Mhm.
that really hit me between the eyes. For those of you who do not know, I have been homeless for about 5 years now, living at my sister-in-law's place. And before I moved into my sister-in-law's place,
And he homeless that own a home too. That don't make no sense. It's even weirder than that. But keep going, Jerome.
yeah, that's another story. But the point is that I was determined that I didn't want to come over here. She lives in a gated community. You know, they cut your grass, they shovel your snow, all of that. Okay. People ain't running through the complex and all that. It's awesome. But I didn't want to be here because when my wife came over to help her move in here, some of her husband's family were like, "What are you doing here?" She said, "That's my sister." So I didn't want to have nothing to do with this place.
Oh yeah.
When my wife got sick and I couldn't take care of her anymore, I cried out to God. I said, "God, I need help to take care of her." And I'd already talked to my sister-in-law. She said, "If you need a place to stay," my husband, he passed away, y'all can come here. I did not want to come there, Tracy. I did not want to go there, okay? And I'm sitting there, God, I need help. God, I need help. You know, I can't take care of it by myself. He said, "I already sent you help." I said, no, you don't understand, God. He said, "No, you don't understand. I already sent you help." I say, "No, you didn't." He said, "Hello." Did I mention I've been here 5 years?
That's the plan you wrote down, huh?
Come on. And Tracy, I didn't go back. I went where he wanted me to be so I could move forward. But I didn't want to come. I didn't want to be here. And now that I've been here, this is exactly where I needed to be. This is exactly where he wanted me to be. I didn't see it at the time. And the things that have progressed since then, I couldn't have imagined, nor did I know. And I'm sitting there going, "Lord, I need help." But Knucklehead, I already sent you help. I said, "Lord." So when you said that, Tracy, I had to share that with you. Because sometimes and talk about us withdrawing. Sometimes we got to go back to what we know in order so we can move forward, and us not wrestling with that, but letting God show us in that. So God, what do you want me to do, God? How am I supposed to perform and act in this situation? Because I did not want to come here. I did not. So I'm falling on my sword. Thank you.
No, very welcome.
Oh, and this is for Damali. I didn't want to say anything earlier because you was in the mood. It's, "Lord, I believe, help thou my unbelief." That was what I got you, girl. You know you my girl, Damali. Hey.
Go ahead, Damali, you next.
No, I was just gonna say something similar with the whole, you think you can plan, you can do so many things, but and what you're focused on, I was so focused on wanting to fix my husband that I wasn't able to see that all of the things that he challenged, that he did that challenged me, I had something to fix within myself. And your class helped me with that, Antonio, last summer. I decided in the summertime that I was going to stop trying to fix him. And anything that he did that triggered me, I was going to focus on why I'm triggered. Like I intentionally focus on why am I getting triggered? Why am I getting triggered? And I see now in the grand scheme of things that a lot of my ego has been kind of pushed down and kind of diluted a little bit, and it's helped me to better interact with my kids. And with what I'm going into, I had to go through that growth process with my family, my husband and my kids, or else I would not be able to do the work I'm doing now. Because when you're working with these special education kids, you get attitudes, you get all kinds of things. You get responses that you may not be ready for, but I was kind of ready for it, you know? So it's just like, and all the complaining I did, things were getting worse because I thought he needed to be fixed. And when I took the focus off of him and focused on me, things started getting better because I shifted how, like he is changing. He's not changing a whole lot, but he don't have to because my mind is changing up to where it just works now.
There you go. See? See? I mean, you can't fix people. You can only fix you. And people don't need to be fixed. People don't need to be fixed. How have you responded to such a breakthrough? Okay, go ahead, Brenda.
I was just gonna say amen, that's all.
That's it. That's it. Think about this, y'all. How many times you got cold? How many times you got hungry? How many times you got tired? How many times? I'm not making fun of you. I'm trying to show you that you do your prayers the same way. As soon as your prayers pass by you, you blink. You're tired. You scratch. You do this here. Then that's what happens. If you think, for those of you who believe in an infinite intelligence or whatever, if you think there's something drawing to you like a magnet, period, or gifting to you like a giftee, this is for you. You cannot think that you're not magnetizing every day or being gifted every day. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense, Tracy, that you think that you're not being blessed with your breakthrough every day. What's more accurate is you don't qualify for your breakthrough every day it shows up because you're distracted. I do this when I used to coach people. Now you got to be like a government leader, super millionaire for me to coach you. But when I used to, the first phase is called perception. And I kid you not, Shelly. I would say change your perception. I don't know. It usually takes people 2 years to get out of phase one. I would say over and over, perception is the problem, perception is the problem. They can never hear it, Jerome. Tracy, they can never hear it, can never, ever, ever hear it. Because when you have a problem with something, you can't see it and you can't hear it. I said it 1,000 times to these people, but it was like a hole in the paper, like a hole in a book. The word just wasn't there. Their idea of their perception was the problem. What Damani just said, her perception of her husband was the problem. Tracy just said me too to my students. She say her students all the time, they can't hear it. Tracy, the way I became a full-time, I'm not telling you to do this, but the way I became a full-time speaker, it was 2010. I joined Ignite Energy, not social media, what you call it? Network marketing company. All right. Network marketing company, Ignite Energy. I think it's called Stream now. And we were selling Stream Energy. I think the whole thing is called Stream now. Reverend Oscar Gatson brought me in, and he was just a good man. And he just convinced me I could do this. So I went and told my job, I'll be retiring in a year. I got a year. I was store manager, or I think I was assistant store manager at the time. Or no, I'm store manager. Anyway, at Little Caesars, I was assistant store manager or store manager. I was both. I played both roles. I don't know which one I was at the time. Please hear this. Do not daydream on this part. I told him I'm retiring in a year. I just knew that I was going to be able to use Ignite Energy and retire in a year. But I had the Hebrew boys' faith, Jerome. I didn't give a crap. if I did it. I was retiring in a year, whether he blessed me or he did not. I was retiring in a year. And I told myself on November 27th, I'm going to make it. I did not make it to November 27th. I couldn't take it no more. You ever been somewhere and you know your season is up? But
Oh,
you still,
yes.
But you
Yes.
still stay there?
Yes. Yes.
It's painful, ain't it?
Yes.
I was supposed to
Because
leave
you're
in,
being pushed. How are you being pushed?
I was
a lot
supposed to
of
leave there in May.
That's how I
Renee.
feel now.
That's how you feel now. I was supposed to leave there in May, Renee. I wound up staying there like November 17th. I wound up leaving November 17th. I couldn't even do the last 10 days. I came back and gave them their key. Hey, you had a key to start. I can't do it. I couldn't. We still friends today, but I just couldn't. My season was up, and I was staying in a place I wasn't supposed to be in no more. I left Little Caesars with $3,000 in my bank account and retired. But I had created enough skill sets to make sure that $3,000 came in every month. I retired with $3,000. My rent at the time was $625. This is 2011. $625. I was an associate minister at First Union Baptist Church, 1027 Avenue K, Galveston, Texas, 77550. Well, the pastor David L. Everson is still the pastor to this day. Just so we clear. All right, real place, real names. And I left Little Caesars. And I'm telling you, if I tell y'all, when I left Little Caesars in November, I got an invite to speak in Africa in December. And then this what happened, Tracy. I'm not kidding you. I'm not joking. I was like, man, I got to do something. I need to do something. I need to do something. I just something. I know I need to do something. I got 50 more preaching engagements in December. Y'all don't understand. When you're an associate minister, you preach twice a year, if at best. And that's at home. Seven last sayings on Easter for the youth. I need some real church folk to know what I'm talking about. Don't the preacher bowl. You know what I'm talking about? It was 7 of them go up and it's got 10 minutes apiece.
I say.
He is correct. He is correct. You don't even get to do it anymore. Now they do it for lay people. They call the lay people to do it.
Oh, see what I'm saying? See. So just so we know, I am spitting facts, and the people who know I'm spitting facts. I got these 50 engagements in 1 month. Then in January, I get another 50 engagements, and now it causes, respectfully, we cool as that, but it causes this rift. Now I'm an associate minister, preaching more than my pastor. I see y'all don't understand how this that ain't how that ain't. I don't know if you know anything about. I don't want to say too much, but that ain't how.
Who he think he is? Who he think he is?
That was not supposed to happen.
Thank you, Jerome, because I couldn't say it. I didn't want to say it. You know, I didn't want to say it because I'm not saying nothing bad about 1027 Avenue K, but it caused a rift. By February, I wasn't at the church no more. We'll just say that. I wasn't at the church no more. It wasn't by choice. I wasn't at the church no more.
The jealousy.
I didn't say that.
Disdainment and claim.
I didn't say that.
You was getting too much attention and he wasn't. Just make it plain as it is.
God brought all those circles back.
Will your gift make room for you?
It did,
Antonio?
It did. I wound up finding myself 6 months later in June at Lakewood Church with Joel Osteen, pastoring 20,000 people. So I went from 120 member church to 20,000 people, speaking now 300 times a year. Why? Because I left that job. all I wanted was to be a full-time, y'all not hearing me, man. All I wanted was to be a full-time speaker. And I said, I risked I had 2 boys at the time. One was an infant, one was 3 and 4. I risked my marriage. I risked my kids. I risked their safety. I risked their food. I risked everything. They talked about me so bad when I left my job. Oh, my mother-in-law, bless her, she's a great mother-in-law, don't get it twisted. But she couldn't understand how I was a man with no job. Y'all know what I'm talking about? When she's 77. You understand what I'm saying? But that ain't how it. Susan know what I'm talking about. When Susan, decided to be an entrepreneur, that was taboo. She was wrong. You understand? Susan know what I'm talking about. You can't be 77 and seeing somebody with no job with my daughter. Married this boy and he done quit his job, baby. You know what I'm talking about, Damali. You know what I'm talking about, right? So she's a fantastic mother-in-law. It's just that that's 3 generations removed. I'm 3 generations behind her, so it was a little different. I have never wanted for money ever again since where you at, Tracy? Ever since I left my job, I've never had to ask for money or work for anybody a day in my life. I'm not telling you that's your path because God may not have grace for you on that path. But I am telling you that until I was willing to look stupid and lose it all, I was not blessed. Go ahead, Law. Go ahead, Agent. No, Agent and Law. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Because somebody had to say something right there.
I was gonna say just push a little bit further because she asked the question at the very end.
She sure did. Remind me the question.
Is he waiting for me to take that step?
Always. Now that's always.
I was gonna say just because.
Yeah, I'll push it.
Sometimes the step is what it is. The move.
But there's no faith. There's no faith without action.
Jordan, right? Like the foot had to hit the water for it to,
Right.
So sometimes it is that step.
All the time it is that step. All the time it is that step. All the time it's that step. Now that step does not mean that she's supposed to go jobless. But if going back, yeah, I want y'all to listen to this. If going back to my mama house is the worst you can come up with, you tripping. You absolutely out of line. So this is what you're really saying. You out of line. What you're saying is, God done made a way for me, but I don't want to go back to what he made a way. That's the dumbest thing you could possibly be saying.
Watch yourself, sir.
I ain't got no mama house, no daddy house. Like, if I lose publicly, and we outside. Some of us ain't never been able to go back home. I'm adopted. Ain't no home. I've never had the option. I've never had the option to be raised by my parents or go back to my parents. It's never been an option for me. I've had to eat what I kill since I've been 6. So if your problem is, well, I don't want to look bad, then you don't want it. You don't want it. God forbid that you actually go with your mama house and save some damn money. Ooh, I don't want to go. Nope. God ain't going to save me bills. Yeah, that's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. And I don't know a grown woman on the planet that want to be with their mom. Let me tell y'all something. If I don't know nothing else, I know a grown woman that has her own cannot stand to be at home. Let me tell y'all something. I know this for sure. I know for sure your mama gonna get on your last nerves.
Every last one of them.
Every one of them.
the one right there. My daddy told me the best thing I ever had was some keys. I said, what? He said, no, those keys is your answer. Because you can take your keys and you can take yourself and you can
I
get
know
on out
that's
of here.
right. I
And
know
ever
that's
since
right.
then, I just always made sure I had some damn keys.
That-
And everything is cool.
Better jangle them joints. The jangle them joints. Law say, or a gay man. Look, not a woman or a gay man want to go back home. You hear me? It's the truth. I got you, Laura, in 1 minute. It is the truth. You will not see a woman that is okay with being with her mama. So what? What you do is you go to your
That is
mama
so
house.
true.
That's true. That's
I
true.
went back to my mama because I had to,
Had
but I
to.
was like amazed. I was so uncomfortable, and I was just like, I got to get out of here.
It's
But I
so
love my
supposed to
mom, and I
be
love
uncomfortable.
being home with her. But once
That's
I
right.
left and came back, it was a whole new
Whole
story,
new
and I
story.
was like, I got to go.
Because you couldn't leave.
And I got it together. But like you said, I was able to save money,
That's right.
do what I had to do, and then I got back out and never went back.
Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? Let me just say this one sentence. I'm finna get locked, and I know he at work. Hear me very well. Ain't nothing wrong with going back. I'm just talking to black people for a second. I told Monique and my kids day before yesterday. I said, I'm training them how to be video game developers and trying to make them millionaires by next year. But I told them, y'all not leaving this house at 18. And I said, now, if I think you're ready, then you can leave all you want. I'm gonna walk around here naked. Well, exactly what I told my kids. I'm not joking. If you think I don't act like this with my kids, y'all crazy as hell. I act just like this. But I told them, don't date till you're 30. And don't leave this house till you're 24. Black community, I don't know what it is about us. We want these kids out of here at 18. What the hell you know at 18?
Talk, sir.
I don't know nothing at 18. Not a damn thing. These kids ain't leave my house till I'm 24, till they 24. You hear me? They're gonna be write your name on that orange juice. Now, when you start dating, we'll talk about it then. But you're gonna stay here till you're 24.
On the orange juice, Antonio.
Write your name on that orange juice and deal with it, boy. Go ahead, Law.
I couldn't find a mute button. It's interesting that you're touching on this topic because I think I wrestle with this every day. And the reason being, when I did step out on faith, I can remember the very first time. And I was doing really, really well. I was in my early 20s, apartment, car, and all that other stuff. Left my job, went on a new venture, with the business or what have you. It did well in the first 2 years, then it declined, and I kind of just lost everything. And from that, everything went to being disabled, went to this, went to doing that. And I think that sometimes has me in fear, like you still need to have something because you remember that last experience that you have. And I'm working on trying to move past that by still continuously doing, but I still have this voice in my head that you got to have something because of that previous experience. You lost everything you did. So you got to hold on to something. How do I kind of move past that? Because I know I don't belong anywhere, but only doing what it is that I want to do. But I still have this crutch of having to have something just in case because of that experience. It took me through a lot.
So you brought out the psychological problem with Tracy's problem. So y'all have the same problem. You and Tracy had the same problem. She brought out the facts. You brought out the psychology. We're gonna take some time with this, y'all. So Prophet Jerry, do not forget what you're gonna say. But it happened twice now. We got to talk because if it's two of us, if one of us is in trouble, all of us is in trouble. If two of us is in trouble, all of us is fronting. We all lie to ourselves. You hear me? We all feel like them. All right. So let's deal with this real quick. Somebody write this down Deanna, write this down, says Gracious, and write this down in great details and let this be some sort of journal or something for somebody. I'm gonna say the first thing, but it's not really in the order, but I'm gonna put the most important thing first. You need to trust that source is not hurting you. If you can't get past that, the rest don't even matter what I'm about to say. The rest don't matter. You have to trust. Now you can change source with God or whatever it is, but you need to trust that what you're going through, it's not just for your good. You've never been somewhere that was meant to hurt you. And if you could first recognize that, then you can start recognizing since you're hurt or since you're bothered. Remember, I don't want to go back to means I'm hurt. Now I'm being abusive about this situation. Now I'm controlling this situation because I don't want to get hurt again. That's a place of pain. To not want to go back is a place of that hurt. So I want to control every outcome. But the crazy thing is, the thing you're controlling is where your breakthrough is. But until you recognize that you're not, wherever you are, is not meant to be painful. It's meant for you to say, what am I supposed to learn from this? And I'm not trying to be a wizard with words. I'm not trying to be so esoteric. I'm not trying to do the motivational speaker thing. I'm trying to keep it to you real. Where you are is not meant to hurt you. I didn't say, Renee, it don't hurt. Those are two different things. We're not talking about pain. We're talking about your interpretation of the pain. Hear me very well. I didn't say law. Listen what Brenda's saying. It was uncomfortable. It was supposed to be uncomfortable being with your mama as a mama. Two mamas can't be mamaing together. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. It is. They gonna have a gay man and a mother. They both cleaning after each other. I like it like this. You can't do it. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. It is supposed to be painful. But second thing, you're not supposed to interpret that pain and make a meaning out of it. This is very important, and I can get to the extraneous stuff after this. But these first two things are very important. Source is not hurting you, and stop making a meaning out of that. Our brains are mean-making machines. And what we do is we go through something, and then we start making a meaning out of it. And all of a sudden, the narrative starts changing. By the time you didn't say it 1,000 times, but not by the time you said it just 1,001 time, it's a whole new, different story.
A meaning out of the experience itself?
Right, because the experience itself was this blessing for you. Like, let me make it super plain. You're supposed to enjoy all of that. And I know that's so freaking hard to accept. And I'm not even trying to belittle you or anybody. But God don't have those problems, Law. And you are God. And if you got those problems, you're separated from God. That's sin. Not all the other stuff that we be talking about. To be separated from God is not to act like God. And if you are not creating your situation, you're not God. Period. That doesn't mean that you're not of the same substance. Jesus, there's a Greek word for this, homoousis, that means of the same substance, like homosexual, of the same substance, of the same skin, of the same essence, of the same substance. So, Law, you are homoousis. You are of the same substance as God, the same creation power. Imagine God not wanting to go back to a certain period. That period becomes God, not God. Is this, I know my brain is too smart and does complex things, but if God make a rock too big for God to carry, then the rock is God. So what we do with our mean-making machine is we wind up making rocks that we can't carry. Now that situation we don't want to go back to, that's the real us. The real us is the thing we don't want to go back to. So when your breakthrough comes and tries to find you, it's vibrating at a certain frequency. It sees your representative on this call in this square, but
You're gonna look for the trouble.
Child, I can't tell you How many people wake up? Now, who is going to disappoint me today? Let me call my cousin. Yep. Let me call my cousin because he get on my nerves anyway. Y'all still trying to impress that same sibling that don't like you. Just because your siblings don't make you friends. Just because your siblings don't make you friends. Some of y'all siblings are karmic soulmates. You're here to burn off karma with them. Y'all probably ain't gonna never get along, but you're supposed to get to the point where they don't affect you no more. So back to the point, because I don't want to convolute things. I want you to know, Law, the first thing you got to do is just know that you are not supposed to be hurt by anything. And I'm not, again, let me make this clear. I didn't say if I punch Law in the face, that didn't hurt. No, that is a lie. You're supposed to feel the pain, but you're not supposed to say all Black people punch me in the face. So what we do? If I hit Law in the face, he's supposed to say, "Oh, that's an ignorant man. Now I got to kill him." But you get him. Besides that thing, he gonna say, he's not supposed to say all straight men punch me in the face. But what do? We make this meaning out of things. He punched me because I was gay. And then now what we start doing, there's a friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours. Her name is Sean. I use her real name. Her name is Sean. She's in SBE, Support Black Entrepreneurs. And I was like, Sean, you're not gay. She's a lesbian of the stud variety, open, attractive woman. I was like, you're not gay. And she was like, what you mean? I'm not. And I said, no. I'm not trying to tell you don't like women. You just woke. You just like what you like. Why you got all this? Because as you're identifying as a gay woman, you bringing in all these people baggage with that. You know, a gay woman means something. And most of what it means, she didn't make up. Gay man means something, and most of what gay mean, Law didn't make up. It's taking on everybody else's thoughts, and you taking that thought on with you. And that's the same thing we do when we say, I don't want to go back. You don't want to go back to what, Law? Because whatever you don't want to go back to, let me help y'all. Whatever hurt you, it wasn't your thoughts that hurt you. It was somebody else's standard that told you this thing's supposed to happen in your life, Law. You bought that hook, line, and sinker. And now you hurt over something your mama taught you by accident. Don't make no damn sense.
When we're not supposed to be offended.
No doubt. Listen, okay. Going back with your mama. If I never made fun of Tracy for that, she wouldn't care. Can you see what I'm saying, Law? Most of what we're afraid of is because somebody else done judged us for it. We made a meaning out that judgment, and that was paralyzing us in our present. The reason why I'm
You are
saying
correct,
you
sir.
You get it?
So what about if you made the meaning out of it?
Did you? Were you born with that meaning? Ah.
Well, like you say, like if you go back with your parents or whatever, and like other people judge you, right? But what if it's like you're judging yourself like that?
Fair
Like,
enough.
you're just like, I shouldn't be back here. I'm supposed to be at a certain level, and now I'm back where I started.
No
and,
doubt. No doubt. Everything you're saying is correct, and you're most certainly doing that. But did that come from you? Think about it. Listen to what you said. I shouldn't be here. Who made you responsible? Wow. Who told you that? Who told you shouldn't be there? I should be further. Do you get? I get what you're saying. I'm trying to get you to see you are not the origin of those thoughts you listed.
It's
Black
definitely
woman standard
cultural.
is that origin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because for a while I did feel like that when I did move back home.
Right.
But then I realized that I was able to do a lot more as opposed to when I was living on my own, right? So when I was able to move out of my mental condition, I was able to travel the world. I did a lot, right? Or even now with building the app, I'm able to put a hefty amount of money to there, so it doesn't
Yeah.
affect me so much in that aspect, but I'm still reminded of that experience, and it's kind of still like a crutch at times that you still got to hold on to this because of this experience. I don't think that I'm hurting in a sense like this. I've been through this, I've been through that. No, I accept it for what it is, and I move forward from that. But I still have a crutch of having to have a job in order to survive
Law,
while
Got you.
I'm building
law.
myself up.
I got
Don't
you.
make me
Yeah.
come up to New York and kick your ass.
Fair enough. That's about
You hear
right.
me?
I
Because I
hear
That's about
remember
you.
the
right.
law I met 5 years ago, okay? And that's not the
Yeah.
law that I see right now. And you've been kicking ass and taking names. And I'll be damned if I'm gonna let you sit here and go back to where you came from. Do you hear me?
Yeah, no, that's
I
Yeah.
will
fair.
come to New York and kick your ass. You hear
Well,
me?
fair enough.
I know.
That's you need friends like that. But hold on, before Law responds, you gotta think about it. Law is building $1 billion tech company. He getting punched with $1 billion fists. Them ain't food stamp fists.
No.
He ain't got food stamp problems. His losses cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
The impact is different. The impact is different. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, when you try harder, you fall harder. Let me. I'm gonna say the same thing, Law, but I'm gonna say it in a simplified way. You don't have to kill your past to live your future. If I was to change, I've made many mistakes this lifetime, last lifetime, but I wouldn't be here. Like, in order, which the only way that I would change something is I have to not like where I'm at right now. Because everything that I did brought me here. If I take one thing away, I'm somebody else, Tracy. I don't have confidence. I'm not too smart. I'm way too smart to be broke. I can never be broke. I'm too smart to be broke. You can take everything away. I'll sell something for $200 tomorrow. I can't be broke. So when you think about it, when we don't want to go back, we're also saying, I hate my life now. And if you hate your life now, you got to go back to the first thing I said. Source didn't bring you here to hurt you. There's a reason why I said that. So now, answering Law's question, what do I do? It still affects me. And it goes down to one answer. Law, congratulations. It's supposed to. It's making you smarter. Yeah, see the smile on his face? Why are you trying to get rid
I don't
of
know
it?
if I like that.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, but you don't get rid of what's making you smarter. I bet you won't make that mistake again. Right? Like whatever the thing that you don't want to go through is the very thing making you save your money. If you take it away, you stop investing. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many different things you stop doing if you take that experience away. But the reason he's good with money is because he don't want that damn job. Like, think about it, Law. You know for sure you don't want to be no speaker no more. You'll still be out here trying to go stage from stage instead of creating stages. But think about it. Law is trying to reach 1 billion people at one time instead of 475 people. 25. Law ain't worried about, I wonder if I get a speaking engagement. Law is worried about, I wonder if I get 20,000 people to join in 1 hour. It's a lot more money you're doing what you're doing, Law. You get me? It's because you went through that experience. If you take that away, you wouldn't be trying to leverage 1 million people an hour. You would still be begging somebody to get on their platform instead of creating your own. Now, if that ain't make sense to you, you ain't the Law that I know.
Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. So I do appreciate that. And just to add on, because I wasn't able to sign on last night, but we're building a new service or what have you, where I can actually host and do events and stuff like that. I actually got my first gig on Saturday, first paying one, because I've been doing a lot. So I got my first paying one, and it
See?
feels good, even though it's not even finished, but I'm still moving or what have you. But it felt good, and
It
it was
felt
hard to
good.
take my ego out of it when it came to the
Oh, yeah.
paying aspect of it.
Yeah, it's
But
like $5. Like, wait a damn minute now. I ain't gonna That's where you learn how
I
to
took
sell
my
from the
ego out.
stage and get your pay raise back. That's what you do. You learn how to sell from the stage and get your money back.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. About to get Prophet Jerry, but I want to point out something about Tracy. Right now, everything Law just said, Tracy's secretly going, I wish I had that problem. Like this, she wants to do what Law just had to swallow his ego for. this is what we are complaining about. Tracy and all her success and her beauty, and she is both. It's like, I wish I had that complaint. It's crazy when we think about it. She's trying to speak. She know if just give me one, I can get the rest. Tracy knows this. Tracy, no, just show me how to do one. I'll do the rest, Antonio. I don't even need no help. Just give me that one. I'll make the rest. I know how to duplicate whatever I start. If a woman can't do nothing else, a woman can do that. A woman can't do nothing else. A woman can say, man, give me something, watch me make it better. Women have taken many a dirty men clean. Some of us warmed up the jackpot for another woman, but that's a whole different story. I don't want to bring up your trauma. Don't want to bring up your trauma. Go ahead, Prophet Jerry.
You made messy this.
Well, sometimes I got to keep it entertaining. I got to keep the party going.
Listen, first of all, I still have my sign on the refrigerator. I'm fixed. God didn't hurt me. And that was 2 years ago. And every now and then, of course, I got to go to the fridge, because I got to eat and I like to eat. It's still there. But so that lets us know that Source didn't hurt us. Source made us here to succeed and soar, to the point that when you, what I wanted to say was after the accident, I went to the nursing home, and then December of the nursing home, someone came to me, a prophetess, and said that there's going to be a transitioning going on. And I'm thinking of, in the spirit, thinking of moving out in the nursing home, all this stuff. So March came, February and March came, and I heard Source says it's time to go back to North Carolina. What? I'm not going back to North Carolina. I had some hurt there. I did some hurt there. I'm not going back to North Carolina. Plus, I got a woman that I don't want to bring to North Carolina because she's going to find out. But I already told her everything that went on in North Carolina. But they're going to be like, well, did you know Jerry did this? But anyway, make a long story short. So had to tell the church that I was leaving. They said, oh, it's not God. You're just an emotional, this, that, and the other. And they didn't want to see me and Renee together anyway. So moved out of nursing home in June, moved to North Carolina in August. Now coming up, I done made one book.
Yep.
About to do a second book.
This is correct.
My queen's about to do a second and a third book.
This is correct.
Now, them same people that told me that this wasn't God, out with the eyes open like this. Tracy, you better move and do what you got to do. Swallow your pride. Swallow everything and go back to where you have to go back to, because that's where you got to go to.
Look. I can't tell you.
Can I
Yes.
just say one thing?
Please go ahead.
I hear what everybody is saying, Tracy, but I'm basically saying
I didn't tell you.
afraid
Yeah.
if you land at your mama's house, but that ain't necessarily where you're gonna be, because like you said, every time you step out and take action, like the whole theme of the whole call has been every time someone is taking action, the universe works it out. This is expect the universe to work it out, and it'll work out. And the working out don't have to be your mama's sauce. Just expect it to work out, girl. You do what you gotta do, and do what you want to do, and be happy.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. I guarantee you, Grace find her husband. Grace finally left the city. Her husband ain't in. She don't even like dudes from Galveston. Grace, you see that, Grace? Help me out. You don't like dudes from Galveston. She don't want to be in Galveston.
You're correct, sir.
There you go. Grace. What kind of man in Galveston?
I go to Galveston. No, I go to Galveston to go to church. Visit my family. That's it.
Grace, let me help me out. Anybody from Galveston? They're more than likely to preach anyway.
More than likely.
You want to be with a preacher?
Mm-mm.
Deacon?
Mm-mm.
Anybody thinking like
Only
that?
deacon I like two deacons. Deacon Sandals and Deacon Red. That's it. I don't want to marry one though.
Average income in Galveston is about $27,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you try to live?
Mm-mm.
Don't you got mansion goals?
Mm-hmm.
Every mansion you know in Galveston is a plantation, huh?
Plantation.
It's the truth. They got historical landmarks now. They plantation houses. Grace, you want to be a Negro on the plantation?
Mm-mm.
So there's nothing vibrationally equivalent to you being in Galveston there.
None.
So leaving Galveston makes the opportunity for what you want.
My grandma told me after she went to sleep with her ancestors, Grace, to be honest, I don't want to know this. Grace, I'm gone. You got to go live your life. I said, yes, ma'am.
Guarantee you, Tracy just heard all that. And I don't mean like audibly heard. I mean in her spirit. I'm not telling y'all to leave y'all jobs. Some of y'all need to stay at your jobs. All of you ain't got to go out here to this rough entrepreneurship. It's rough out here in these streets. It is. It's rough and unexpected income. But I can tell you, Shelly, you ain't getting no younger. You still fine. But if you want some vacations, I'm not talking to everybody. I'm not talking to everybody. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. If you're trying to be on them balconies, you know what I'm talking about now, don't you? Look at Tracy. Look, she got somebody next to her. She can't even say that. If you try to be on the balconies, you got to leave that job. Or at least start taking your money and investing it so you can leave your job one day. But to do no action don't make no sense. Let's wrap this up. Go ahead, Renee. You talk, and then I'm gonna wrap it up.
No, I just was gonna piggyback off of what Prophet said, because a lot of times you never know. You miss 100% of the shots that you never take.
Right.
So if you kind of just look around and you say, well, I don't know, and you don't never make a choice, things are gonna work out. I lost everything my own self. I lost everything. I can never go back to my parents. Both of my parents are deceased. I don't have any choice. And even when we're living at, we're like, okay, we need to probably go back to cheaper rent, which means we're gonna have to go to a place where I came from. But it's okay, because it's gonna help us to launch even more into the deep. So whatever you do, is just stay encouraged. It doesn't, even if you have to go back to a cheaper rent or whatever, still be content and still know that it's not forever, and make that decision and go for it, because you miss 100% of the shots that you never take. I'm grateful that we moved here, because I would have never have known what was going to happen. A lot of doors have opened since we've been here. Not saying that North Carolina is going to be it for us for the rest of our lives. This is us for a season, but I do know doors have opened up here, but it took just making a choice and just moving and just being like, okay, we're gonna go for it, and we just gonna know that things are gonna work out, and things have always worked out. Even when it got a little tight, it still was all right. So just stay encouraged, girl.
Things always work out. I'm glad you said that. If you don't have your dreams, you're applying your law of attraction towards poverty, not your dreams. I'll let that sit for a little bit. Because you're applying the law of attraction. The title of this, why law of attraction is working for you, was actually deceiving. It is working for you. It's just not working for your dreams. But you are attracting. You're doing a good job. Or you are attracting every day. Only abundance. Just an abundance of what pisses you off. Just keep it real with you. You are absolutely attracting. We got to, I'm wrapping up. Our job is not to wait for abundance. Our job is to know that in all things, we already have it. And I know that sounds so crazy. And I know it sounds like a motivational speaker. But it also sounds like Paul. I've learned to be abased and abound. Whatsoever content, whatsoever situation I'm in, I'm content. This man ain't brushed his teeth. There were no toothbrushes when Paul was writing. No internet. He had no toothbrushes. He's one of the few people on the planet that can read. He ain't take no baths. I told my, I don't know why y'all keep glorifying. This don't make no sense. These guys ain't had no toothbrush. They get invented like 1700, 1800. Jesus probably ain't had no fief. He probably didn't. Jesus walks around here smell like mop water with no teeth. Telling you. Man walking around Africa with no running water. I don't know what y'all out here thinking. Truth. Critically think about your sacred text. Your job is to know that you don't have to know anymore. Somebody done taught us if we just know the answers. How many of you are intellectuals? And if you got that knowledge gap, you can't move. Come on, who know I'm talking? It's frustrating, ain't it? If I could just tell me what to do next, I just need to know. Melissa whole brain is bleed out her ears, just right? I get it. But when we was babies, we didn't act like that. When we was babies, we was the closest to the essence of God we've ever been. And adults, what happened is, me and Susan didn't know something and we got embarrassed for it. And then all of a sudden we got nurtured into being an intellectual. I'll never not know something again. Come on now, don't fool me now. That's what happened. Somebody we trusted put a new behavior in us. I want you all to go out there and adopt your own behaviors. And I'm going to guide you. No, I can't guide you. I'm going to point a certain behavior, and you have the option to walk somewhere down this path or not. It's up to you. But the behavior is this. Be God. That's all. So if you are in an argument, what would God do? Would God cuss Renee out and affect the next 33 years of her life? Or would God find a way to create some sort of harmony in that situation? The next time you think you are behind, ask yourself, is it possible for God to be behind? Does not God control all of God's actions all the time? Because it's kind of crazy when we say we behind, because it's not like we grab 10 minutes and say, all right, get behind me. We didn't just sit out and grab 10 minutes out of thin air. and be like, okay, these 10 minutes threw these away. I'm behind now. We can't do that. We don't have that power. We don't have the power to grab time and get behind or in front of it. For the Tracys and the Laws that were vulnerable and the Graces, I thank you. I just know you were here for this. I know we all are. I know some of us hiding, but I know.
Yes,
No, go ahead,
sir.
Grace.
This call
Yeah.
was for me today. Okay. Me and Tracy, and Law, and everybody who spoke. But yeah, when I heard Tracy,
But
I was
definitely
like,
for you, though.
Yep.
Definitely for you.
Listen. Okay.
Grace, is you going back in the
left
classroom?
No, I left that school with no plan. All I knew was I was going to work with Antonio. That's all I knew. I didn't ask myself, how you gonna pay your rent? I didn't ask myself that. I don't know why I didn't think about it. I just trusted, hey, I'm going to work with Antonio. He said
Oh,
he
you
got me.
did?
Okay.
Did you die?
Nope.
Did you starve?
Nope.
I think you
And
did okay.
everybody, especially Deanna, saw a difference after I left the classroom. She said, "Girl, you look just in time." Because we went back to school one day because they asked me to do it to step for Black History. And she said, I was looking at the teacher. They don't look. You got out of there time, girl. Yeah.
Girl, you lost 20 pounds when you
Tracy.
left the school. You got all that negativity off you.
Yeah. I'm telling you, Tracy, just go. Just go. You know it's going to work out.
Do your thing. Do what y'all want. I'm not telling y'all go, stay, leave. Because now Grace has the right to say that because she's a teacher that left. So that's solid advice from her. But what I'm trying to tell you is you've mastered your life, Tracy, when you know you don't have to do nothing. The Wachowskis try to tell us this. You think what you mean? You telling me I can dodge bullets? That's what Neo said. And Morpheus said, no, Neo.
Come on now, say it right. Say it right. Say it right. Don't you mess up that line.
That's it. You're right.
Come on, say it right. Say it right.
Morpheus goes, no, Neo, I'm telling you that when you're ready, you won't have to. Tracy, when you're ready, you won't have to. Think and Grow Rich says the same thing. There's a secret in this book. You already possess the first half of it. When you're ready, the second half will jump off at you. I'm the plane's on the ground. I'm gonna push this point. This is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. When you're ready, Damali, you won't have to. Oh, but Adrian says, well, I gotta do this. Adrian, that's somebody else's strategy, not yours. When you're ready, you won't have to. It would just fall together for your good. I wish I had somebody right there. Boy, Prophet Jay, what you need to do is
Oh, you got me, bro. You got me, bro. I had to realize it. I had to realize it. Sitting with all of you great minds and stuff, I had to realize that. If y'all remember, like, I think it was all last year. Well, one, I was in a very bad situation. And when you told me that you create at home and I couldn't create, I knew that there was a problem with what they said was so great in my world. And I didn't want no pieces of it. So if it was a learning moment for me,
sure.
I remember I came back and I told you I failed because I had to bail. I couldn't do it that way. But now just sitting, listening, I know what's for me and I know what's not for me.
That's right.
And I know how to applaud other people when it's for them because it ain't my thing.
That's right.
God has already told me, baby girl, that ain't what I need you to do. And it's humbling to be able to let something pass you by because you know it's not yours.
Yeah.
But like Grace said the other day, when your neighbor is being blessed, you just know that he's in the neighborhood. And so however he needs to come to you, just know that you need to be ready and willing and able, and he will come. He won't tell you what to do. But the problem is when we put our things on what God has told us to do, that's when we realize that we're no longer moving in faith. We're moving in the learnedness of our lives. Yeah. And most people take the learnedness of their lives and only resonate on the bad things that they remember, and not all of the blessings that happen in that stepping out and moving forward. And I don't know what that's about, but I bless God for the class because and it was so funny because you just said yesterday that every day you're going to do AI, nothing but AI. And every day there's going to be something because it means nothing to do it without AI. And then we get one today and not one word of AI, but nothing but blessing. And everybody that came on said, God, I needed this today. God, I need this right now. So that's how you know when prosperity has one voice. That's how you know. It's like I was asleep and I was not trying to even wake up. And when I came on, I was 5 minutes late, but I was hearing that somebody need prayer. I thinking, well, Jesus, I'm right on time.
Right on
and
time.
I came in on the prayer. And ever since then, we've been prayed up, covered by the blood. And however, whichever way, like you said, all of the different faiths together.
All of them together.
Say amen. It was just like, wow, today was a amen day. I got to see one more time, brother.
That's it. You so right. You so right. Amen. Go ahead, Sandra. You go ahead and I'm wrapping it up. But I want to end with one thing. Go ahead. You ain't got to rush.
Thank you, Antonio T. Smith Jr.
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to say this. It's a lot of things that is happening. And one of the things that has happened over the weekend was that my granddaughter ran away. And to be in the still of everything, and even at the same time, be in the calm of God, not working in my own movement, but working in what He guides me to do, and let the police know what God was. I didn't know that.
No, we lost you, Sandra. Can y'all hear? Was that me? Okay. Oh, there you go. There you go. Go ahead. Keep going. Oh, I guess I was hearing stuff. Okay, well, we lost it. I'm so sorry. Oh, we lost the whole call. I said this to my dad 2 days ago. That lit him on fire. So I'll say it to you. Now, my dad's a super Christian. I don't know if y'all, that's when you read King James, talk King James.
You better watch yourself.
He's a super Christian. He's a super kingdom man. He's not he's a kingdom man. He's not a church folk. He's a kingdom man. And I convinced him to watch Harry Potter. He loved it. He loved it. He was like, oh man, I was so against it because what he said, witches and something, whatever he said. I forget what he said.
The fight between good versus evil.
Oh yeah, he loved all that. He saw the Christian motifs, he loved all of it. He's like, man, I gotta admit, that's what he's a transparent empath. He's really good. He's really good. I told him this, and I ended with you by telling you all this here. Thomas in the New Testament was not there when Jesus returned. Now, you don't have to believe in the story, but I want you to understand. I want you to believe in the theme. These men followed their dreams. They get, like Tracy, they left their jobs. Like Grace, they left their jobs. I need you, wait. I need you to get to be inside the will of God is to be crucified by people. I'll let that hang in there for a little bit. The moment Tracy decides, whatever the hell she gonna decide, crosses will come after her. It will not be easy. They will not let her make it. And it will not be her enemies. Oh, no. It ain't gonna be no Muslims gonna bother her. She don't even know that many. There'll be no Ain't gonna be no whatever, ain't gonna be no racist that's gonna bother her. There's gonna be them same folk that say Hosanna right next to her. Look like her, got same blood. Come on now. Crucifixion come from people you know. Ain't that one of y'all been messed up by some terrorist? You ain't been messed up by no terrorist. You don't run into them. Them same folks saying, eat another one, Jay. I'm trying to walk. Here, take another one. Them same folk to say, you want some soda? That's the folk killing you. Look just like you. Just don't be a stick in the mud. Smoke this weed before you gotta take the bar exam. That's them folk that's crucifying you. Gonna help me, somebody. And Thomas wasn't there because he wasn't supposed to be. And I ain't talking about like divinely. Let's think about it for a second, Jerome. Let's just keep it real. Left everything. Gave up sex, jobs, wives for a dream that other people killed. Oh, you gonna receive that. Because that's what hurt. This is what law is talking about. It don't hurt that you lose. It hurt that you tried, trusted, and folk who should not have betrayed you did so. That's the painful part. I could have had it if I didn't trust my cousin with it. Come on now. If I didn't marry that man, I could have had it already. Come on. Come on. And then Jesus comes back on the 8th day. And I need y'all to receive this. I had no idea that my degrees was at work when I was talking to him, and he was impressed. Every male child on the 8th day had to go to the temple. And their flesh had to be cut away to be marked as a child of Abraham, to be back in the Garden of Eden. The promise. Jesus waited to the 8th day to cut away the flesh of the 12. But listen to the words. Peace be unto you. Receive the Holy Spirit. So this time, Jesus didn't use tools. Jesus used the Holy Spirit that's telling Tracy, I shouldn't be here no more. Help me, somebody. To cut away the flesh that makes her stay paralyzed in her present. See, while tools work, all of us got something on the inside that's cutting away at that fear we got. And every time we try to hide it, Damali, I guarantee you, Tracy wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning every morning, feeling unaccomplished. There's got to be something you can do. Get back on ChatGPT every morning. When you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, your soul will wake you. Get up. You won't sleep tonight. We didn't come here for this. Y'all don't want to, where's my dreamers at? We didn't come here for this. Work on Tree and Press right now. Shoot, publish another book. Be tired on that 8 o'clock in the morning call. Because as long as you got us doing this, we're going to keep you up at night. Who know what I'm talking about? Get your butt up. Check that email. You may be a millionaire. Check it. See if you got that speaking engagement. Check that email right now. Get up and make that graphic. Come on now. Get up and write that blog for your website, Deanna. Stop playing with me. That's what your soul do. Oh, you scrolling your Instagram, huh? That's all right. You're going to see nothing but meditations on it. Ain't nothing but hope on that there. That's all right. That's all right. Let me put nothing but Steve Harvey and everybody telling you, get up. Thomas was full of not faith, and so were the other 10 people. Judas killed himself. And Jesus still showed up. That's my point. Tracy, Tracy, I don't know what to tell you. Grace, I don't know what to tell you. I could tell you, you may not be operating in full faith, but your God's still showing up. You've been convinced. You got to know the answers. Thomas ain't know the answers, and I don't blame Thomas for not believing a dead man is living. That don't make sense to me. So I don't blame Thomas for thinking this man is alive. I seen this man die. He ain't alive. Tell me I'm crazy. Y'all crazy. But if you were the last person on earth, Tracy, if you were the last person on earth, if you withdrew from your friends, Grace, if you were the last person on earth and you withdrew from your friends and you were not doing the right thing with your life, God would still show up for you. Well, y'all don't want to hear me. So I'm telling you right now, God done showed up. Y'all stop thinking God shows up because you're doing the right thing. God show up because you are important, right thing or not. If you were hiding in the room, locked away, God will still show up for you. And I'm so glad that this universe finds ways to remind you how wonderful you are. Are you doing the right thing, Tracy? Probably not. Does the Bible require you to do the right thing? It does not. Stop letting folk like me tell you if you want to be blessed, dot every I, cross every T. If you want to be blessed, breathe. There you go. Congratulations. You are blessed. Now watch wherever your feet shall tread will be yours. That's the wonderful thing about God. Ain't nobody on this damn call got something that everybody on this call that got a life-changing blessing. Ain't damn one of us deserved it. Not a damn one of us. Don't you stop letting these suits fool you. And all that perfume when you see us all dolled up at these conferences and these churches. Ain't a damn person here that got a house or a credit score that they deserved. Every last one of us accidentally walked up on grace. There's people on this call damn near killed themselves in a marriage. I'm not joking. I don't mean that as a metaphor. There's people on this call wanted to commit suicide just 4 years ago. Look at them now. God don't show up because you're doing right. God show up because you exist. Tracy, you can make Tracy, if you don't leave that job, God's still gonna bless you. If you leave that job, God's still gonna bless you. You're using prayer as procrastination. You don't need to do that no more. Do whatever you want. If it don't work out, God will show up and let it work out for you. Just like the rest of us who don't know what the hell we doing, it's gonna work out for your good. Ain't a person on this planet that know what we doing. Everybody lying. That's my message.
You know, I can testify to that because I didn't think I was gonna make it on disability. And let me tell you, I was traveling around the world on disability and I don't know how the hell I did it. I still don't know how I did. Matter of fact, I had more money on disability than I do working a full-time job. Ain't this some shit?
See?
So thank you for that reminder.
Yes,
And
sir.
sometimes I gotta remind myself that, you know what, it
That's a
seems like it's hard,
word.
but you're gonna pull through.
That's a word right there.
Yeah.
That check don't come late either, baby.
I know it don't come late. It come every time.
Okay, look.
Come every time. Yeah. Tracy, everybody, Law, stop trying to do the right thing. You are the right thing. That's why you're blessed. But stop letting people like me tell you you got to do something to be blessed. You got to relax. Be still and know that I am God. I'm not saying nothing outside your Bible. be still, calm yourself down, and know that wherever your feet shall tread, I'm giving to you. Know that you'll be presented faultless before the only wise God. Know that exceedingly and abundantly can be done for you above all you ask or think. Know that you will live by your faith. Know that whatever you do unto the least of me, you do also unto me. Know that there's some energy out there. They call it the Rose of Sharon, the bright and morning star, lily in the valley, Joshua's battle axe, Gideon's fleece.
You know him, don't you?
Know that damn one of us did this life right, but we all leave it blessed. All we got to do is get our egos and allow God more access, and we'll be more blessed. My final words, humble yourself. Come on, Jerome, finish it for me.
In the sight of the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart.
Antonio T. Smith Jr., you can't play that.
Sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
I'm
before
done.
I
I ain't
go-
got that.
before-
Yeah, I can talk, but I'm done.
Okay. Okay, I'm cleaning out some, some stuff. You know what I'm doing. And I found a paper, and I just want to read something real quick.
Read it.
I take notes, and it's a good friend of mine. Her name is Portia Wilkins. And she was talking. She has a call called Straight Talk Woman Talk, and this one was called "The Power of Transition: Pulling Out of Purposeless Places." And the part I'll read is this: don't go through hell and get nothing out of it. As long as you learn from it, you will not lose. And then she talked about how your transition creates sifting. She said, when God is shifting, there will be a lot of sifting. The purpose of a sifter is to ensure when the dry ingredients join with the wet ingredients, they mix well in their new environment. She said, you may doubt yourself because some of the dirt you've done. Dirt is needed, and this is what Antonio was talking about. Dirt is needed to plant new seeds. God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called. There's going to be sifting in your ability. There are things that are only assigned to you because you're the only one who knows how to do it. Life and your experiences are the best teachers. Things to let you know it's time to transition. You're no longer fulfilled. Your drive is gone. You feel overworked and underpaid. The thought of doing it makes you sick to your stomach. You're stressed out, and you have an attitude towards the place and the people. And then she ended with, do not let what is familiar make you fester. You can't hang with negative Nancy and expect to meet miracle Martha. I said, man, hold on. I'm just getting all of this. Like, something keeps popping up. Okay, yeah.
So I give y'all an option. I can tell you something that I've never said before for about 2 minutes. Then we can go right now. It's up to you. 2 minutes, all right. When I signed my papers to leave the United States military, we were going back to Iraq, and they were waiving the FBI was waiving my no college degree for my on-job experience because I was a special operations intelligence sergeant. It makes sense, right, John? That's exactly what happens. And then the stuff we did. And if I tell you, my Captain Miller, never forget, said if you just deploy, we'll promote you to E6. But you know how it goes, Jerome. We'll promote you to E6. You know exactly how it goes. And I'll make sure when you come back, you'll be in 3 Corps. That's like the Pentagon of Texas. Yeah. That's the Pentagon of Texas. Ain't no, it runs all mechanized infantry. Like it's the Pentagon. It's the Pentagon. And I said, man, one more thing, because I was supposed to be going. I was supposed to go to England for but the war put me on stop loss, and it killed the orders. It killed the orders. Yeah, it killed the orders. You know, my paycheck said ETS 2053. You understand, Jerome? You know what I'm talking about. You need military veterans. You know what I'm talking about. They say 2050. It went from 2004 to 2053.
Stop loss. Stop loss. You
Stop
ain't going
loss.
nowhere.
Ain't going nowhere. No, player. This in your contract. You ain't going nowhere. And I kid you not, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. But by that time, the military took its toll on me. But some stuff happened. It took its toll on me. But I couldn't turn down getting promoted because I'm a man, I got an ego. And then going to the FBI. And I was supposed to go to the FBI right out of, I'm talking about, I was working, and I was supposed to go to the FBI right out of the military. And I'm driving down Fort Hood Street. It's the main street of Fort Hood. Driving down
Battalion Avenue.
Driving down Battalion Avenue, going to the gate. I'm in the BDUs. And out of nowhere, I'm listening to Nas' new album. At the time, it's 2004. And this song comes on. Nothing lasts forever, ever, you know? Nothing lasts forever, you know? Nothing lasts forever. It's a great song. It's in fact, I'll put it up on YouTube. It's a great song. And right there, I knew instantly I was supposed to lead the army. And it didn't make no sense because I was leaving the military that stopped me from being, you understand, when I left the army, I'm going back to the trash can. I'm leaving the FBI. And this damn song came on. And 100%, I had no choice but to leave. And it wasn't the song. It was just right here. This album.
It seem like you ain't gonna make it where you wanna be in life. But yo, if you got a plan, believe me, you gonna get there. You gonna get everything you ever wanted, baby. That's my word.
That's it. You only need to hear that. That's it. You only need to hear that. I listened to that song. And I said, you know what? I make my own reality. I'm not in the FBI. But now I'm writing best-selling books about my FBI experience. Now that took about 20 years to come into reaction. But who gives a damn? It's only not worth it when you don't win. But the hero always wins. Thank y'all so much for your time. I do appreciate you. Maybe you should look up Nas, Nothing Lasts Forever. It's a good song. Changed my whole military career. Sure did. They actually tried to recruit me back in 2008, and they tried to make me a captain. I kid you not. I kid you. Was you with me, Nat? No, you weren't with me. I think that was Lil Daddy. They called me, said, man, just come be, we're promoted because I had my degree by then. Oh no, it was, yeah, whatever, yeah. So, man, go ahead and yeah, go ahead. Yeah. They tried to, but anyway, I'm aged out of it now. I can't do nothing about it now. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Love you, everybody.
Love you more.
All right, y'all.